If he had gone, it would have caused him a considerable loss of prestige, which is a serious matter. For the general public, this would result in a decrease in prestige as you find yourself in a location where you were not invited. And the ironic situation is that your future is being deliberated upon there. As a result, he felt the need to balance this situation. So he came to Turkey to adjust the balance between both the USA and Russia. In order to demonstrate a rational approach as a state, he had no option but to make his choice in this manner. The decision was necessary. If you wish to assert yourself in international politics, it was essential to do this, particularly with two superpowers at play. I no longer consider it accurate to define both Russia and the USA as superpowers, regardless of the terminology used.
By the way, we are currently airing the live broadcast of Trump giving his speech on the screen. I might interject while the audio is playing. Let me clarify from the beginning. It states below that the remarks about the Riyadh meeting are aimed at ending the atrocities in Ukraine by Russia. He wants it to end. The Riyadh meeting seems to have gone well, according to the main source. We hear this from the top source. Please proceed, but do continue.
Trump appears somewhat excited about Russia's involvement in the Riyadh discussions. Russia's general foreign policy tendency is like this, in a rush, as Trump prefers. The process should not focus on quickly achieving an outcome. I mean, Russia first watches, evaluates its plans, and then moves forward gradually. You recall that Trump had discussions with Putin even during the elections before he took office, saying we are going to meet. He was saying things like, we have talked and we will talk again. The reason for the lack of response from the Kremlin remains unclear. No answer was received because Putin is not ready to meet with Trump yet. For instance, the foreign ministers met the next day, but...
Yes, this was expected because it was thought that perhaps a date would emerge from this meeting soon. But you say it won't happen, and even as we imagined, it won't happen soon either. When do you think it will happen, Professor, at best? Such a meeting.
From the perspective of Russian foreign policy, I think Trump will wait a bit longer. He will wait a little longer. A follow-up meeting will surely be anticipated by all parties involved. Even the meeting between Lavrov and Rubio was a hasty move in Russia's foreign policy making process, but Trump has brought it up so often that it eventually led to the statement, all right, let's have a meeting. Looking at Trump's statement, I am trying to analyze the discourse in a certain context, for example. Russia aims to put an end to the atrocities in Ukraine. However, Russia does not refer to it as brutality. Russia doesn't refer to it as brutality. It states that my army is brutal. Certainly it doesn't say that, but you are employing brutality. See, Trump is currently making a major mistake in his remarks about Russia, especially if it involves Russia.
Might these statements have a strong impact on Russia, for instance?
No, we shouldn't expect anything serious. It's more like a, what are you saying attitude. No, it won't happen. These are just statements, but it will make him wait.
And of course, as we anticipated, if Trump is around, can there be no money? He also dedicates sentences to that. We see below that we have sent $350 billion in aid to Ukraine. He is now trying to get this back. He claims, we don't know where half of the aid we sent has gone.
Indeed, as you mentioned, Trump will observe from this perspective, but there's more to it. The rhetoric he has established fails to satisfy the expectations of both nations involved. You are discussing the assistance provided. You claim to use this assistance for a nation you believe is being occupied, according to you. You are pushing Zelensky into irritation. On the other hand, you mention the atrocities in Ukraine. Those who do not define it as atrocities, if Russia defines it as a special military operation, you are stepping on a sensitive issue.
Regretfully, I have to intervene now. In the last segment, it was mentioned. Trump's statement was that the popularity of the Ukrainian leader has decreased, and so has his country. Why is he not at the table? I mean, how can he not be at the table when we are talking about Ukraine? The war there will end, but why is Ukraine absent? Is it possible to suggest that Trump's use of language suggests a decrease in his level of popularity? Is the popularity of a leader determined if a war in their country is going to end and they are going to sit at a table?